Welcome back to the Pineal room. I'm your urban eco-master. Now today I'm going to open up another portal, 6-pointed star portal, right? And I'm going to open up the portal for this that I'm going to write. Follow me. Yes, so I'm going to open up a portal for the civil rights movement. You heard about the civil rights movement in America in the 1960s? Yes. So a portal was opened up. Yes, by this man, this great man. All right. So I'm going to use the triangle, because we have to include the energy, frequency, vibration. Let me write it. So the cosmic formula, remember the cosmic formula. Always remember the cosmic formula. And what is it? Energy, E, frequency, and vibration. Cool? So in every system, natural and man-made, it must be built on energy, frequency, vibration, or transport, conversion, storage. All right, the Trinity: mother, father, child. It's in everything. Proton, electron, neutron. It's in everything. All right, so we're talking about the civil rights movement that happened in the 1960s in America. Now, you must open portals in order to understand events. Okay, so shapes and symbols give rise to what you call patterns. And events are marking points. Yes. To monitor patterns. So we have the triangle. I remember the downward triangle represents the feminine energy. Let me do it a little better. All right. Downward triangle represents the feminine energy, the feminine principle. Sorry. Right. So when it's coming down, it's the feminine principle. Down, feminine. Yes. You don't need to exert a lot of energy in this one. It comes built in. All right. It's usually built in nature, in the organism. It needs to be activated and balanced. Right. Now, it comes with what we call the energy, frequency, vibration. Okay. So what if this is energy? This side is energy. This angle, this vortex is vibration. And the one pointing down is frequency. That's the general way of representing it. Cool? And when it's coming down, it's feminine. When it's going up, it's masculine. All right? So it's going up. It's masculine in nature. Right? Masculine in nature. Remember that, right? And for both the feminine and the masculine, you need to achieve what is called balance. You move into the center. Or you must achieve balance. Balance is at the center. That's where the portal at. And if you could see this in three-dimensional view, it's like you're holding the middle and pulling it out of the board. Pulling this portal out of the board towards you. And you realize now you have a back triangle, a side triangle, a triangle here, and a triangle here. So it's 4 triangles when you do that. So it's a tetrahedron. Now, for the lesson, the civil rights movement, with this information in mind, you can apply it to events. So we are going to talk about it, the civil rights movement. So we're going to create the timeline for the civil rights movement. So this is a 1960 timeline. Alright? Well, you know they're planning before that. Now we have what was called during the civil rights movement, it started by a riot on what is called, what do you call this bus again? There was a boycott. Alright? You have the Montgomery, M-O-N-T, Montgomery bus boycott. Right? You have this happening because at that time, blacks were not regarded as human being, 3/5 human being, you know? So you need to take the bus, you have to stand up. And other groups like the white groups have to sit. You know what I mean? So there was this boycott. One day, they decided that, one woman decided that she's going to sit. And it created a problem and it caused a boycott. And the boycott caused a movement, a march. So there was a march. So we use this as the vibrational piece. Because this bus boycott sends a message across the US, the black communities across the United States, African Americans. So this is considered a vibrational piece. Now, this resulted in what is called a series of marches, right? A series of marches. And they march just the same way one day. Series of marches. And marches are actions, energy. And this later on, after the death, this was led by the great, MLK, Martin Luther King. This was led by Martin Luther King. But this resulted in what is called the Civil Rights Acts. Yeah, who hear about the Civil Rights Act? It's led to the Civil Rights Act. We could call this frequency. Right? So this board is getting crowded. Now we are going to merge these 3 pieces that came out of the civil rights movement. We have the bus boycott, lead to a series of marches, put pressure on the government, and the Civil Rights Act came about. Cool? And Martin Luther King, MLK, was instrumental here. MLK. Yeah, MLK. I don't know if you can see, but no worry. MLK, Martin Luther King. Now, let me move this. You are going to merge what happened when this portal was opened up. What happened? And to find out what happened or what is still happening, you have to merge it with the masculine triangle. Cool? Yeah. So all you artists, you can make a lovely triangle. Cool? This is so crowded though. Now, what came out of this was integration. You heard that word? Integration. So we wanted to be a part of what was happening on the other side. We wanted to attend university, get jobs, equal pay, all of that equality and that sort of thing. Regardless of your race, your religion, your creed, your background. So what came out of this later on was this era. This era came out of it that we call MLK. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So if you want, you can put the D cool? And he represents the vibration among the African Americans. The era that brought the Civil Rights Act. Now, the energy piece to this now that came out of it is what you call the introduction of what you call LGBTQ plus. Because integration is about, regardless of your race, your color, your creed, religious background, and all of that, you could be at the table of discussion, ideas, and all of that. So LGBTQ plus came out of this. And this represented, more plus means that it wasn't completed. It wasn't finished. So this represented the energy. So vibration, the energy in the piece. So all about over the world, people want to be gay, lesbian. You see, it's a moving thing. Yes. The vibration, Martin Luther King brought that. Now, this thing and what Martin Luther King did brought into place what is called, let me get another one for this one. What in place is called, is that it? I want to get a nice little marker here. DEIJ. I know you're familiar with DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, but there's another piece to it. JA, justice and accessibility, access. That's another piece to it, all right? It brought DEI, JA. And this, the civil rights movement, was a portal, was a ground up portal for the people. The intention was pure behind it. All right? So this would have been a civil rights movement portal created by MLK. Right? However, this thing was flipped, and it was weaponized and used to traumatize and then monetized. Cool? When it was flipped, instead of you having civil rights movement, what we have was the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party actually weaponize it, traumatize it, and monetize it. So the Democratic, they introduced the DEI, Civil Rights Act, the whole LGBTQ, and they, of course, they were the one who planted Martin Luther King in the black community. to represent the integration that he was pushing for. So in other words, it was a parasite was introduced into the star. And as a result, we see the rise of LGBTQ, the DEI-JA saga. So, travel the timeline. Remember, this is timelines, you know. These are timelines, my people. This is a timeline. 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 Cool? One more timeline. 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 Cool? Timeline. 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 Okay? Right. And you have the hourglass, you know? This is the hourglass. The hourglass. Yeah. So it's timelines. You have events happening on the timeline. Alright? I hope you get it. Continue to do further research onto this and you continue to open more portals. And you will understand what is happening. Don't get too worried about the plane crash. It's time to open up portals inside yourself. Oh my gosh.